That's right, the title and thumbnail for this video were not clickbait. FNAF is finally coming to Halloween Horror Nights. Now this announcement is not our typical HHN announcement, as it happened at an event called CCXP Mexico on June 1st, which is an event I have never heard of before. But it's actually a Comic-Con style of event for all types of movies and entertainment. This event has been held in countries like Brazil, Germany, and this year Mexico, and this year's event had a panel that featured Jason Blum. In this panel, they discussed the big plans for Blumhouse this year, since it's celebrating its 15th anniversary. And with this big milestone comes 3 huge movies releasing this year to celebrate it. And those movies are Megan 2.0, The Black Phone 2, and Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And while Jason Blum would go on to talk about all these movies, when he started to discuss Five Nights at Freddy's, he gave us Halloween Horror Nights fans a little fun moment to relish in.
Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios. In Orlando and in Hollywood, there may be something to do this September and October with Five Nights at Freddy's.
With this announcement, this will of course not be the first time we see a Blumhouse property at HHN, as over the past 10 plus years, we have seen everything from The Purge to The Black Phone. And if you want to know the history of Blumhouse at HHN, come check out this video that I made last year during Losh that breaks down everything you need to know about Blumhouse at Halloween Horror Nights. But now back to FNAF, as this is the first time FNAF is featured in a prominent role at Halloween Horror Nights. This won't be the first time that it's featured in the event in any type of capacity. For example, in Orlando, during Blumfest 2023, we were introduced to the Blumhouse Photo Experience, which was a temporary photo op that was featured in City Walk that had multiple different photo ops from different movies. So we had The Exorcist Believer, The Black Phone, and then finally Five Nights at Freddy's, this being the first time this was featured at Universal Orlando. But before this, we actually had something in Hollywood that same exact year, in which they had the costumes for Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy on display in the pre-show lobby for Blumhouse Behind the Screams, a show that was featured at Halloween Horror Nights that year. While up until this announcement, that was pretty much it for FNAF at Halloween Horror Nights. But that doesn't do without speculation, as this was speculated for years. I remember I speculated on this back in 2023 when the movie was originally coming out. And even before that, I always thought the video game would be great to see as a HHN house. And finally this year, we will be bringing that video game based property to the forefront. And if we look back at the last video game property that was at Halloween Horror Nights, it was The Last of Us. And regardless of the night that you went to the event, this house always garnered a massive line, and tons of people were waiting it out. And truly, I can see that happening again right here with Five Nights at Freddy's. While all the details have yet to be revealed, we can truly dive into what we think can happen at this year's event. Now, just like most of you are probably thinking, this is for sure a haunted house announcement. But if it were just a house announcement, then when Halloween Horror Nights made the tweet, the wording wouldn't have been coming to the event in a whole new way. It would have been worded as a haunted house announcement. So if it's not just a house announcement, then what is it? Could this be a layover of a store similar to what we saw last year at HHN with Major Sweets? Or could this be a restaurant layover in which we see Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria take over some place like Louis? Honestly, who knows? Either way, I'm excited to see what Halloween Horror Nights does with the FNAF property. And with all honesty, I can say that this is something that I've wanted to see at the event for years. I've said it once, I'll say it twice, and I'll keep saying it. But realistically, it doesn't matter to me what comes to the event. I'll be there no matter what. I will show up and I will have a great time. But with that said, I'm just happy that Five Nights at Freddy's is finally coming to HHN. It still doesn't feel like it's really happening, but I will say this. With FNAF comes a ginormous fan base that will follow this property wherever it goes and whatever it does. So be prepared for a very busy haunt season. But hey, that's just a theory, a Horror Nights theory. That's not my outro. Nonetheless, I will say this, sometime very soon, we should be receiving single night tickets and some kind of new merchandise, maybe this week? And perhaps this could be the beginning of us getting a slew of announcements in the coming weeks. With the event only being 88 days away, this just means that the announcements will be coming fast and furious, so keep your eyes peeled to the channel as well as to the Halloween Horror Nights socials, as I will be on high alert, as I'm sure you will too, for all the coming news, updates, and announcement from Halloween Horror Nights. With Five Nights at Freddy's as the starting point, I think we're in for a solid year of the event, but we will just have to wait and see what's next and what's coming all together. If you guys enjoyed this video, do me a huge favor and give it a thumbs up. Comment down below how you feel about this announcement and what you think about Five Nights at Freddy's. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all the HHN updates, and until next time, stay excellent, my dudes.